What's up everybody, welcome back to another video on the Texas Rangers report. And in this video, we're going to be going over 3 MLB draft prospects to consider for the Texas Rangers going in the 2022 MLB draft. But if this is your first time watching the Texas Rangers report, make sure to subscribe right now because I'm your #1 source for all things Texas Rangers related on YouTube. But also make sure to join the Discord. That link will be in the description down below. And just in case you guys don't know, a Discord is basically a big group chat for all things Texas Rangers. So we discuss live game chats, news, rumors, the MLB draft, and a whole lot more. So if you haven't done any of those 2 things, make sure you go do that right now. So moving on, obviously the MLB draft is roughly a month away, and the Rangers have the 3rd overall pick. So this is a prime opportunity to add blue chip talent into the organization. Obviously, last year we had the 2nd overall pick in the 2021 MLB draft, and we selected Jack Leiter, right-handed pitcher from Vanderbilt, and now he is already pitching in AA Frisco for us. And yes, he isn't doing the best. However, I'm not concerned in the slightest, and neither is the Texas Rangers front office. And I did think originally that he could be in the starting rotation next year. However, with these struggles, maybe he'll have to wait another year. But obviously, I think he has ace potential. And with the 3rd overall pick, hopefully we can get somebody that could be a future all-star for years and years to come. So starting off with the first guy is catcher Kevin Parada. And I already did a video on this because Kevin Parada was in a mock draft. So if you guys haven't seen that video, make sure to go check that out right now. But this guy, even though he isn't the highest guy on my board, you still have to consider Kevin Parada, the catcher from Georgia Tech, because how often do you get a chance to take a guy up the middle, specifically a catcher that has a good hit tool, he can hit for power. The thing with Kevin Parada, his defense is a little shaky. He has drawn mixed reviews, but you have to consider with catchers, with maybe since the automatic balls and strikes will be coming into place, do you really need to be as good as framing? Yes, his arm strength isn't the best, and that is a concern, but people are stealing less and less bases. We just see a lot of stolen bases because we are the Texas Rangers and we have the most stolen bases in the league. However, I have come to value defense more and more, but if you are able to get a catcher that could be at least an average defender, and I think you could get that out of Kevin Parada and could be a plus hitter with plus power, I think you at least have to be considering that even if he isn't your #1 guy on the board. And like I said, he could fly. Well, I didn't say this, but he could fly through the system because the college bats don't need as long to develop. Just look at Justin Foscue. He's going through the system pretty quick. Josh Jung was going through the system pretty quick. So I think he could fly through the system. However, some people could say we do have a decent amount of catcher depth, but I think it's a little, all over the place because we have Mitch Garver for this year and an option for next year. Well, not option, but arbitration. I think his future as a catcher or just in the organization is a little murky. Who knows what this injury is going to do to Mitch Garver. Yes, it is only an elbow injury, but who knows what how it's going to affect him as a catcher. Who knows if he's even going to be in the organization because they could use him in a trade. Who knows if they want to use a roster spot on Mitch Garver for the 2023 and beyond when you want to be competing. Sam Huff is an interesting person because yes, he's been a top prospect for you guys. He's been a top 100, as high as 2nd in the organization. He's fallen down. He's shown signs this year, but obviously whenever the pitchers got used to him, they were able to exploit him a little bit. But he has the massive pop. But will he be somebody that's going to be a starter for you? I don't know. Jonah Heim has shown that this year. I do think he could get to the All-Star game. However, his advanced metrics show that he is due for some regression. And if he is due for some regression, wouldn't it be nice to actually have a blue chip catcher prospect in the wings? That's an interesting scenario, because yes, we do have a lot of catcher depth. I didn't even mention Mabris Viloria, mainly because I don't think he's going to be in the organization long, but we have a lot of catcher depth, but who knows how long all these guys are going to be in the organization. I do think Jonah Heim is here for the long haul. I'm just saying I would expect some regression, and Sam Huff could be used in the trade to acquire a pitcher for the team. Now, moving on to the second guy on this list is shortstop Brooks Lee. This guy I'm actually pretty interested in, mainly because he fits the philosophy what the Rangers have done in the past drafts, which is go after college players. And like I said, he could fly through the system pretty quick because he is a college player, just like Kevin Parada, just like Jace Jung, etc. I think he has the best hit tool out of all the guys on this list, and you'll hear the next guy after I'm done with Brooks Lee. But out of all these three guys I'm about to mention, I think he has the best hit tool. And just for your FYI, all of these guys are up the middle. Yes, obviously I think Andrew Jones could be the best player in the draft class, but I'm not too interested in the Jace Youngs or the Tamar Johnsons. Tamar could be the best hit tool, but I'm really valuing the versatility of these prospects, because if you look at the Rangers position group, you really need versatility with guys like Josh Smith, Ezekiel Duran, Josh Jung. How are you going to get all these guys ABs? Well, one, you have to be versatile to get you in the lineup. And if you're a Jace Jung or a Tamar Johnson and you don't have too many options on the defensive end, then it's going to be hard to get you in the lineup. So that's why I'm looking at guys that are up the middle, because if you're up the middle, you can usually play other positions. Kevin Parada, usually if you're a catcher, you're just going to play catcher, but catcher is really important. If you're a shortstop like Brooks Lee, you could play short, you could play second, you could play third, usually you could play outfield. That's just my opinion, but usually that's how it is. And if you're an outfielder, you usually don't see an outfielder moving to third. It's usually third to outfielder, just like Joey Gallo. And Brooks Lee, he's a really good hitter. He's been raking all this college season. He's a switch hitter as well, and he was one of the best high school shortstops in his high school draft class, but it scared teams away because they knew he wanted to play for his dad at Cal Poly. I think that this is a relatively safe pick, because I think he could stay in the infield. I don't think he'll stay at shortstop. I think he'd move over to third base. And I do think at third base he could add some more power. I think it's a safer pick than Kevin Parada, because who knows what the future is with balls and strikes. Do they keep umpires, or do they move to the automatic balls and strike system? But anyways, I do think Kevin Parada's bat would carry wherever he goes. Maybe he moves to first base, but I think Brooks Lee would be the safest pick out of all the three guys on this list, and I like him because of that. Maybe you could go under slot, and he also is a switch hitter, like I said, which adds to the versatility aspect. However, you have to watch out for teams that maybe want to take him number 1 overall to go under slot and get some more talent in the later rounds, just like the Pirates did last year with Henry Davis. Now, the number 1 guy on my list that I'm most interested in is shortstop Jackson Holliday from Stillwater High School. And this would break the mold from what the Rangers have done recently in recent MLB drafts, because this would be a high school player, okay? But I think this is a different type of high school player. One, Jackson Holliday, I think, is a 5-tool player, okay? And he's not raw like Bubba Thompson. First and foremost, he has MLB genes in his family. I think that could help him out with the grind. His dad, Matt Holliday, former St. Louis Cardinals, played against us in the World Series. He's not like his dad, doesn't have too much power, probably somewhere along the lines of a 20 home run guy in Jackson Holliday. But this would be the most versatile guy. You'd bring him up as a shortstop, could probably move around in the outfield, in the infield, super fast. like I said, he's more about the contact than the power. But I think if you develop him more, you could probably turn him into a 20 home run guy. He has the speed, 60 grade speed. And this is why I think you could go for a high school guy in this situation. Because the Rangers position group is so crowded right now, I don't think you need a guy to fly through the system relatively fast. Because I think Brooks Lee could fly through system fast. I think Kevin Parada could fly through it pretty fast. And we have all these guys that are really close to the majors. Duran, he's had a taste of the majors. He's in AAA right now. Josh Smith is getting his full taste of the major leagues. Leody Taveras is in the majors. Bubba Thompson is close. I don't know if he'll ever get the call with the Rangers. Dustin Harris is close. Justin Foscue is close. Josh Jung will probably get the call next year. That's so many players that are close, and we don't have room for all of them. And if you'd call up Brooks Lee or Kevin Parada, you'd have to fit those guys into the mixture as well. But I think with Jackson Holliday, he's definitely raw, but not like extremely raw, and that could give you a decent amount of time to develop him, and you could fit him into the situation. However, you always want to take the best player available, and I do think he doesn't have the highest floor as the other guys, but I think he has the highest ceiling. But it's not like his floor is super low. I think that given the prospect group that you have right now, you could afford to take a guy like Jackson Holliday, where you could spend maybe 4 years to develop him, rather than taking a guy like Brooks Lee or Kevin Parada, where that'd take like 2, 3 years. So let me know what you think in the comment section down below. I would want Jackson Holliday with my number 1 overall pick in the first round, unless Andrew Jones falls. If not, I'd rather go with Brooks Lee. And if we want to spice it up a little bit, maybe if Kumar Rocker is, doing really well in the independent league, maybe we take a look at Kumar Rocker, but I definitely want to still look at Jackson Holliday and Brooks Lee. But let me know what you think in the comment section down below. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And with that being said, I'll see you on the next one. Peace.